Hey there, Laurie Smith of lauriesmith.com here. So in the last video, I told you all about how I discovered flow and how the world discovered flow. And in this video, I want to tell you the top three benefits as I see them of flow, and the one that is the most important to me, that makes me so excited about flow and the possibility it has for our lives. So the first benefit that is so important is it really does help us to feel positive. And there's been some really great research in this area. I have tons of it on my website. Laurie Smith is spelled Laurie Smith, SMITH.com. And I'm going to have links in the show notes as well. But there's a ton of chemicals that our brain and our body releases when we're in this state that makes us feel positive. And it's everything from serotonin, dopamine. We often feel like an adrenaline rush. It's a natural high. And the reason is flow is really healthy for us. It's actually healthy for the survival of the species. So it's encoded in all of us, and it can really help to boost our moods. So if that's something that you've struggled with, I know I discovered and started doing my flow challenges during the pandemic. I think we all have moments where we feel anxious, where we feel down, where we feel stressed, where we don't feel like we have a sense of focus to our day. So I have found that flow, doing a little bit of flow in little bits here and there, and if we're lucky, get long stretches too, really helps with our mental well-being, our outlook, our optimism, our positivity. Love all that. So that's all on my website. The other benefit, which is all over the place, and Stephen Kotler is doing a ton of work in his Flow Research Collective on this, and it just boosts our performance. And so if you're looking to boost your performance and reach your goals and go far in your career and go for the gold and go for success, then flow is a great way to boost your chances of doing all of that. And again, when we're in a flow state, our brain blocks out the rest of the world, which is why we lose track of time, which is why we lose a sense of what's going on around us. We're just singularly focused in the height of flow on what we're doing. And that focus, of course, allows us to do a better job, which we all know, when we get our dings on our phones, we get distracted, and it's really hard to do a good job and to be really focused when we are open to distractions. So the more we get into our activity, and it really helps if we love our activity, and it's not that our boss is telling us to, or the little inner critics in our head are telling us we're going to be, more worthy if we're doing our activity. No. If we have an inner desire to do our activity simply because it matters to us, it gives our lives meaning, it brings us joy, which is why in our flow challenges we start with joy. If we are doing it for the sake of doing it, we have a higher chance of blocking out all those distractions, being really focused, and doing a really good job. So that's benefit number 2, boost our performance. And let me just tell you, before I tell you benefit number 3, there are so many benefits, and I'm going to go through them in the next video. I'm going to tell you even more. But the third benefit, which is why I love flow so much, is that when we're in that state where we've blocked out all the other surrounding distractions, we also block out our self-consciousness, meaning we're not worried what other people think of us. When we're in a flow state, so I helped ghostwrite a book, and I wrote it on my commute home from New York after Johnson & Johnson, which I tell you about in the first video or second video. I work for Burson Marsteller in healthcare communications, and I had a 2-hour commute from New Jersey into Manhattan on a train, and I got a side job, and I ghost wrote a book with a couple physicians who I had been working with called A Black Man's Guide to Good Health. It was edition 1. Anyway, I would spread my papers out all over that train, and I would hand write, and I would get in such a zone, and people, the train would be packed, and people would be coming and going and sitting next to me, and it smelled on New Jersey Transit, and I was just in a zone. I blocked it all out. I didn't have headphones on. I didn't play music. I was just in the zone of writing that book. And that's sort of what happens, you know, instead of worrying what the person sitting next to me was thinking of me, or the people standing in the aisle looking down, wondering what, you know, oh, does she have messy handwriting or whatever. I did not think about any of that, and it wasn't because I was worried about meeting a deadline. It wasn't because I was so focused on, you know, what the physicians would think of what I was writing. No, it was just that I cared so deeply and was so in the groove and so 100% full on in what I was doing that I didn't care. And that is the beauty of flow. But what that does when we're in that state where we no longer care what people think of us, do you know who we're connected to? We're connected to ourselves. And Mihai Csikszentmihalyi, who is the author of the book Flow, I would hold it up, but I put it down somewhere. But I'll have it in the show notes because it's a really important book. But he called it our egoless self. And I call it our true self. People have all kinds of names for it. But no matter what your belief system, whether you're a science guy or girl or woman or a spiritual minded person, or whatever your beliefs, whatever your religion, or if you don't have, you know, if you're an atheist or whatever, we all kind of agree that there is something in us, some energy, sort of a peaceful side of ourselves that we connect with when we're in that state. And we might connect with it in meditation, and meditation has proven this. Research on meditation has proven this. But we certainly do connect with that peaceful energy when we're in flow. And so in the next video, I'm going to tell you what some of the benefits of connecting with that peaceful self are, besides the obvious of feeling more peaceful. So thanks for joining me here today, and I'll see you in the next video where we'll talk even more about this, what I think is just so amazing about flow. Thanks.